Today's guest is, can you tell the people who you are and where you from? For those that might not know who you are from the new generation.
Yay, my name is Narrator RBX from Long Beach City T. You
For
dig
sure.
Dog Pound?
For sure. All the way, all the way. All right, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
I would say hmm, around the sixth grade.
Sixth grade. And what inspired you around that time?
Uh, I think it was you know I'm gonna tell you the truth. Before before the hip hop had bust me upside my head, I was uh I was a fan of the Charlie's Daniel band. When the devil went down to Georgia, he was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a
Okay.
bind, he was way behind, and he was willing to make a deal. All
Mm,
right. So I used to like that song because of the rhyme. And then I think uh my Aunt Margaret back in the days in Chicago had the basement because in Chicago that's what was the thing, basement. So you used to go in the basement. She had a turntable down there, and one of the songs that she had was Curtis Blow, Christmas rapping, and the breaks. So I kind of you know was listening to that. Now that a real heavy hardcore hip hop came into the picture when the homie Scott Garland came to Long Beach and he brought all the mixtape, the Cold Crush, the Dynamic, the Treacherous. He brought all the.
yeah,
So that's when. If you came for a party, let me know. That's when the hardcore hip hop, like, oh, okay, with the turntables activated and all that. Shout out to Grand Wizard JD.
for sure, for sure. Now, I gotta ask you because you spoke on Long Beach, California, man. What was that like growing up for the out of towners that never been to Long Beach? What was that like?
Well, I mean, a lot of people hear Long Beach and think, okay, it's gonna be all nice and tropical. It is to a certain degree, but then there's areas and pockets all hidden off in the gym, and it's for the most part, Long Beach cats be on defensive mode. You know, we got some offensive cats that be stay tripping, but for the most part, we just kick back, lounging at the beach. It don't.
Yeah,
We really don't be having no problems till cats be coming from other areas thinking they running something. Then that's when the monster come out of Long Beach. That's when they get vicious.
for sure, for sure. And did you grow up in a two-parent household?
I did not. My mom met my stepfather Woody later on in life, so I think I was about 14. So up
Okay,
until I was 14, it was just me and moms. Me and moms, and then my baby sister came into the picture. Shout out to KK, and my stepbrother Deshaun, he was floating around. So it was just us.
for sure, for sure. Now you say your pops was gone.
Uh, yeah, he had moved on. My biological father, he went on to Colorado, but then Woody stepped in uh, uh, from that point and held everything down. So yeah, we two parents solid held down from that point forward. From the time I
Man,
was about 13.
yeah, man. So did that like how did that affect you like growing up? Is that what made you like lead towards the gang life?
Um, no, actually, I was playing football. The game life was just a culture and the fabric that was in the area, you know.
Yeah,
But some of the cats that was older, uh, seeing that I was, we played football in the street, seeing that I had those skills and nudged me to Long Beach Poly, and that's how I ended up playing football for Poly High School. Then you got coaches like Don Norford and Ronnie Shannon and the cats that had been around and seen things and was nudging you like, yeah, that ain't what you want to do. You might want to get on this field and try to do something. Then I ended up getting a scholarship. So At that point, I had older homies that was from the hood that wouldn't even allow me to come to the park. Like, bro, I'm hearing from the coaches and yada yada. Merle Cole, that's one of my coaches that was real, had a lot to do with me getting the scholarship. Would be like, man, I beat your ass. I catch you hanging out with the misfits, and you
Right,
finna get a
right.
scholarship. So they rolled down on me real tough. So they kind of fractured all the ties that I had with the gang stuff, except for my brothers and my loved ones and my cousins.
Yeah. So, but you did like further yourself into that, or you stepped away and came?
Nah, I got a scholarship in 11th grade. So
Okay.
I went on here and went to UNLV. That's how was I think Randall Cunningham was leaving. Icky Woods was still there. I met a couple brothers and I think it was the best experience of my life. I'm glad I did go. The UNLV basketball team won the national championship that year, smashed Duke and Christian Leitner and Grant Hill and all those cats. So that was an experience, and that was my school. When that was on the campus, that was right across the street from the dorms where we used to always hang at. So DD and shout out to Moses Scurry and rest in peace to Jarvis Bass Knight and Anderson Hunt. Well, Anderson ain't gone, but rest in peace, Cap. They know what it is. Anderson Hunt, Echoes, the whole crew, man. There's too many to name. I know I'm gonna miss some people, but they know who they is. Church.
Man, rest in peace, man. On to the next question, man. Is it true you related to Snoop Dogg?
Snoopy. Who's Snoopy?
Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, the rapper Snoopy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Long
that's
Beach East Side.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's little cousin.
Okay, okay. So what was Snoop like growing up and shit?
Uh, um, like a little cousin.
Yeah,
You know how little cousins is. He wasn't annoying, but he was a little cousin. And so, I was kind of like an older cousin, and I had older homies that was showing me how to shoplift and get football games and all kind of shit. And I used to and like the digital derbies. I had too many to take home, so I gave it to Snoopy. Be like, nigga,
right,
Merry Christmas. And now he got a digital derby, a digital football game. We was rambunctious. We was out there doing our stuff.
right, right. So what was he heavy in the, on the gang banging shit early before the rap shit too?
And like I said, it was a fabric. We didn't know we was gang banging. We
It
just
just was
thought,
a part of it. Yeah, it was just a part of
yeah,
the
we didn't know.
yeah,
We didn't, you got all these movie people flying in. They putting this stigma on. Oh, you were gang banging. No, we were just living life. That's how it was at the park.
that was y'all tribe. It was basically y'all tribe.
Somebody snatch your football. You like, man, you better go get your football back. Okay, so now you gang banging because I'm going to get my football back.
Right, right, right.
That's all we knew.
Type,
Like you ain't finna take my lunch, homie, or my juice box, fool. That's what's happening.
for
The
sure.
fact
For sure. Most definitely. How did you find out Snoop was trying to rap and shit?
I wouldn't say my little cousin, my cousin Tay Dog. I had went to UNLV, like I said, I had went got that scholarship and I had went to school and I was at and I had got like a break real quick, so I came back and I was talking to my cousin Tay Dog and Tay son, your little cousin rapping right now. I said, who? He said, Snoop. And I said, well, what? He said, he kind of tight too. I said, what he call himself? He said, Snoop Rock Ski. I said, oh my.
Okay.
Snoop Rock Ski. Okay then. That's what it
Right, right,
is.
right,
So then
right.
I forgot what we was over. I think we might have been at my cousin Tay Dog's house. And I think he was talking about trying to battle me. Yeah,
Yeah.
he thought he was like, I'm nice, knock, I'll knock you down. I'm like, buddy.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right, right.
buddy,
Straight
slow
up.
down, little cuzzo.
Right, right, man. So
So we get into
from
the
there,
battle. So we go to battle, and we could grab a couple 40s and a couple blunts, and we go to battle. And I had to kick him in his chest a couple times, and
yeah,
he was hanging in there for a minute. But I got these college words, and I'm in college at the time. I'm in
right,
class, and
right,
I'm going back and forth, and
right.
I
You
start
putting
hitting him with
metaphors and shit together, yeah.
I hit him with the 101 course, and then he
Okay,
survived the 101 course. So then I took him to another like a 102 course, and he survived it. So then I said, okay, I'm finna quit playing with this nigga. And I went to that graduate level, 205, and yeah, the graduate levels.
yeah,
I hit him with the
right, right, right.
Yeah, it's all
For
good.
sure. For sure. Now, how did you get the niche to be a lyricist though, coming from the West Coast though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not a lot of and back when you was, you know what I'm saying, in your prime and shit, like you was a lyricist then, like, and it wasn't too many of y'all. Like, where did that come from?
Um, well, that comes from that background that I told you that when I was at Auntie House in Chicago. Okay,
Yeah.
so that was somewhat of my Midwest influence. Then a lot of the cats that I dealt with, sisters too. My sister Lynette, she was from New York.
Okay.
Um, um,
Shout out New York City.
yes, shout out to everybody in New York. You know what it is. Quit playing with me. Um, so, and I used to just be a listener. I wasn't a rapper. I thought I was gonna be Grandmaster Flash. And then yeah, because I had turntables and everything, but that didn't work out for me. So one of my home, I think it was JD Grand Wizard JD was like, "You got the voice, so you finna carry the mic, homie, and I could do the turntables." And JD was pretty much the nicest DJ all around. Only one that I seen that might run up on JD was probably Aladdin. So he was that nice.
Okay.
Hey man, something echoing though.
You said what?
Something echoing. You don't hear it?
No, I heard. Now I think it's cause I guess when somebody calling you or something.
Nah.
I don't know. You still hear it?
I still hear it, but I ain't pushing through it. Hip hop ain't
We're
never been beautiful. It's always got a little grimy element to it. Shit, we work
man.
right
Hey,
through
for
it.
real, for real. On to that question, man. Who are the members of the Dog Pound, man? And how did the group start?
Well, now is you talking about the DPGC or DPG? It all started out DPGC. That's the
Hold on. Hmm.
I don't know. There I go.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it all started out. It started out DPGC. Man, it all started out. Okay, so this is what had happened. Let me tell you the whole story. This is what had happened. We at Snoopy apartment on Whitley in Hollywood. Big C style pull up. He say, uh, "Man, we gotta have a name. We can't just be the Long Beach Cats. You dig? We gotta have a name of our crew. How we moving our line." And I think we were smoking one, and we ain't put too much time in it. And I think it might have been no, it was Staff. Staff was like, you the dog, we'll be the pound. So that's how I'm like, yeah, I said that sounds jazzy, y'all. And at that time, um, I believe Snoop was like the the forerunner. I was like the president, and freestyle was the treasurer. Because we was all broke at that time, and freestyle was we was using freestyle Blue Monte Carlo to move around, and that's basically how it started. I think about 15, 20 minutes later, Lil Style pulled out. Uh, 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 Snoopy and Styles said, "So we got a name for the clip. We're gonna be the Dog Pound." He said, "Ooh, that's hard."
On me.
And then went from there. I believe at that time, his dad had just called and he was still in Oklahoma, but we told him too, like we finna put the Dog Pound line. He was like, "Oh, that's hard." Now it was a bunch in the beginning. It was a bunch of members. Rest in peace, Ty Taz. Rest in peace, Big L. Uh, uh, Rest in peace, the Broomfield brothers. It was a bunch of cats that was pound from different areas. Ty Taz was from Six Soul. I think Big L was from Six Soul. A couple cats was from other sets, and we all formed a pound. And then uh, everybody started doing their thing. Daz and Corrupt formed a group called the Dog Pound because they went, they was Dog Pound members, so they went on the DPG. But the original jump off was the DPGC.
Right, the set. Dog Pound Gangster
They
Crip,
Dog
right?
Pound Gangsta
Yeah,
Crip.
I ain't want to, yeah. For the,
No, no,
yeah.
no, no. We ain't tripping, bro. I mean, I got see when you dealing with the real ones that's gonna talk to you, you ain't gonna have to do. You ain't got to do all that. I
For
got
sure. See,
real
like
rap.
where I'm from, in my city like Long Beach, like my neighborhood, I'm from Paysdale, right? Paysdale is nothing but Crips. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm from Long Beach, and ain't nothing in Long Beach but Crips. However, I got a gang of cousins that's blood,
Right, right. That's
so
love.
it don't. And I love them to death. And if you they don't care what color you is, you fuck with their cousin, they gonna jump,
Nah,
and
that's
they
but
they
that's
gonna
how it's
jump out
supposed to
because
be though.
you gonna see red and burgundy everywhere.
Right,
So
right.
with that state, we ain't tripping on that. We grown. That's for the young guns, man. The young
On
guns
me.
ain't tripping on
For
that. The
sure.
older cats that move faster will know who they is by now.
For sure. Now, how did Dr. Dre come in the picture?
Drake came in the picture because I was linked to Snoopy, and Snoopy was linked to Warren, and they came to my mama's house one day and swooped me up and was like, "Dre want us to start putting some stuff together, and he wanted you to be part of it. So where you at with that?" I jumped in the car, real brief.
For sure.
I
For sure.
mean,
And he was this one Drake was already on death row, right?
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it was. This was the first jump,
Yeah.
the first wave before all the weirdos came. Second wave, third, fourth, fifth wave. This one was rambunctious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when you get your shit smashed in when it mattered.
For sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah, yeah. Now can you lead us into your introduction to Death Row Records?
My introduction.
Yeah.
Okay, so my introduction was I played football at UNLV. I ain't even gonna be disrespectful. I'm gonna just say his name. Suge was there. Suge was one of the cats that got transferred in from the junior college.
Okay.
So when they was telling me about the label and the Suge Knight, I already knew dude. I already knew him. So I'm like Suge Knight, but I didn't tell them. They didn't know that I knew what I knew. So I was
Yeah.
like, I see him. He say, call me Collins, and say, Y'all want him on the record? Dre knew what I was capable of, but nobody else did. Because I
Yeah.
wasn't one of those cats that just go around ramping. I sit around and watch some of the baddest motherfuckers in the world get down and won't say one word until call.
For sure. For sure. For sure. Man, that's crazy. So now that was your introduction to Death Row Records, man. What was it like working on the Chronic album though? How did that happen? Like,
It happened. Okay, so it was kind of like beating the diamond in its shape and whatnot. Because well, I think it was like a year before we really started getting cracking. But before we did, we was all in the projects. You know, we was Jordan Downs, the Nickersons. We was battling. We was back because they wanted to make sure that we was the truth to push this line.
right.
In order to push this line, you had to be battle hardened and really, because it was, I mean, we didn't know Death Row was going to turn into what it turned into, but they was making sure everybody that they was going to push
Was solid.
could,
Right.
could hold their own.
Right.
You know, at that time I was unassuming. I didn't look like what I was. I was a mangler, but I would come in with my glasses broken, heavy
Yeah.
reading, and I would just
Yeah.
look like a mad scientist. But then that mic come on, that beat come on, I turn into a whole nother motherfucker.
For sure. And you still doing that shit now, man. That shit crazy. Now let me ask you, man, why didn't you ever sign to Death Row Records like yourself?
Honestly, the honest answer is that because the love was gone. When we first started the shit, it was everybody was a family situation, yada 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 yada. Somewhere along the line, niggas got weird and got to talking to niggas crazy, and instead of being brothers and sisters, we became artists. Oh, you get your artists and yada yada. And I just felt like I was being disrespected and talked down to. And when I tried to address the issue, started to rectify and correct the issue, it wasn't able to happen. So I thought it would just be best if I kept it moving.
Right. And then you speaking on Suge Knight issues with him?
I mean, I had a few issues with him, but it was not. It was more. Oh, it was. It was more than Suge. You know, he was. It was a
Yeah.
whole the whole little situation that was going on at the time. You know, maybe the people that he
Right.
had to
So
answer to.
yeah. And then with you being, a low, a crip at that time, being on a label ran by Bloods, was that like hard to do at that time?
No, because like I said, I got family. I got family members that's Bloods,
Right. Right. Right.
and in all honesty, the kite was sent. Yeah, you gonna keep your hands off mine. I don't give a fuck if he is a crip.
Right. Right. That's
So
real.
that umbrella was already placed, like yeah, and they didn't have nothing to do with nothing. At that point, I was dealing with uh, man versus man. Homie, you gonna talk to me? I don't give a fuck about no color.
Yeah. That's
The
real.
end of the yeah, we just gonna talk like
Just
grown men,
use the
and if we're not able to see eye to eye, opposed for us pop off and go elsewhere, I'm gonna just keep it moving because the way I felt with that college education is they've given me a name that they can't take. The RBS is my brand. So I just move my brand and go forward. I don't have to sit here and fight you. I got a brand. I'm gonna keep it pushing, dog, all out.
For sure. For sure. Now, did you really get your name forged on the Death Row documents?
Yeah,
Damn, that's crazy.
yeah.
And did you ever find out who did it though?
Did I get my Yeah, you ain't never gonna. I talked to a lawyer. She said she seen one of my real signatures, and she said she seen A that didn't look nothing like mine.
Mm, man,
So
that's
there it
crazy.
is, right there. It's a bunch of nefariousness going on. I can't really, I can't really to say who did the forgery, but shit, it's a
Right.
forgery.
I mean, it's a forgery. Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
they
But that,
like,
but that,
yeah,
so, but I'm saying, like, ain't you like old, like some type of paper for that though?
yeah,
Yeah, they gotta break bread or fake dead.
yeah. We working on things, Um, some of the nefarious entities that was are no longer, and my little cousin and some of the folks that I run with are now moving into position. So, we just gonna keep it positive and moving with the positiveness and hopefully it's gonna work out. Meanwhile, that used to bog me down, but it don't no more. So now we on the course with my whole new, and now that shit gonna turn to fuel. Instead of being
Yeah.
upset about them fools not giving me my paper, I'll be like, oh, they done fucked up now.
Nah,
It's
for
all
real.
bad now. Now I'm finna hit. Oh boy, I
Yeah.
cannot express to you how that rocket fuel be working sometimes.
Nah, for real.
For real.
Understood. Uh, now I gotta ask you this question before I get back into the music. Can you recall the situation that happened over the chicken with Suge Knight?
Oh yeah. Well, real brief. I mean, I think I did him the buck. Like, ain't never touched a man's chicken or some old shit, trying to play the shit off or whatever. But it was basically what I was speaking on earlier. Just basic. I'm a simple dude, homie. It was 8 people performing.
I can't hear you. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Will help with the algorithm.
Yay. You
You said it was 8 people
Oh,
performing.
8 people performing. You get back, it's 8 bags of chicken. So I'm thinking my dog looked out. You dig? I don't go into no shenanigans. I just think my dog looking out. So I grab a bag of chicken and I go to the side and I go ahead and knock that shit down.
Right.
When I come back out, all the little homies that follow suit. You dig? Everybody grabbed a bag of chicken and went to town on it.
Right.
Suge came in right in after the chicken was devoured and went to tricking. Who ate my chicken? Who ate my chicken? Yada 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 yada. I was on the side, so I had already devoured, but he kept whooping. He was making such a funk. I just yelled, "Nigga, shut up with all that bullshit, my nigga." And
Right.
then I
Right.
walked out. Yeah, I walked out. I was like, "Nigga, 8 niggas ate." I said, "Nigga, we ate the chicken, nigga." The fuck is 8 performers, nigga, 8 bags of chicken. We could, oh, nigga, I had left in my fridge. I'm like, your friends didn't perform, nigga. We did. I didn't know. My bad. And then he got the whooping and it turned to something else. Nigga, well, what's happening? Let's get in. Real quick. I ain't got time for the shenanigans. Let's get in.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
not gonna agree, we not seeing eye to eye, nigga. I'm not gonna keep arguing with you, nigga. Let's get in.
Right. Right.
Period. That's all. That's what happened.
Y'all ended up scrapping though.
Nah, he pulled his little thing out. Woo wah, woo wah.
Man.
This little pea shooter and shit. Then that's when I jumped up on my toes and was like yada yada. Then all the homies rushed in and then broke it up. But I ain't gonna say nothing else on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It,
On
it
to the
was it
next
was it was
question.
kind of over about a day later, but we gonna just
Yeah.
pass forward on that episode.
For sure. For sure. What insight did you get being around DOC, man?
DOC, that nigga called me Rex. I
You
ain't
said he what?
RBX. I don't think I've been RBX to DOC since we did the Chronic. It's Rex.
Mm.
I don't know why the nigga called me Rex. It's just Rex.
Damn.
So uh I mean, I got real big brother insight from OC. I ain't talked to him in a while, you know. Uh he was one of the ones that'll give you that real talk. Like if he say X, if you do what you do, there's not nobody in the world that does that. He's like when you, I don't know, I don't know what gear you be pulling into. He said, but when you do that, what you do, that shit is simple. So, and I don't really know. I kind of know what he's talking about, but then I kind of don't, because most of the time when he's talking, I just blacks out. I mean, I've been in situations I done jumped up on the stage and just black out, and then you'd be like, I'd be like, say, you told that shit up. I don't know what I did, but I just blacks out. So I be having those little episodes. We
For sure.
figuring it out.
For sure. Shout out DOC, man. I was supposed to get him on
Yeah.
the interview.
Formula truck, what's happening?
For sure, for sure. On to the next question, man. Did you ever get a chance to meet Tupac?
Yeah, but I was leaving Death Row and he was coming to Death Row, so it was strange.
Okay.
It wasn't no love. I mean, it was love with Pac because of the digital underground trust route.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah, that was all solid and intact. But the Death Row thing, man, I really wasn't feeling nothing from Death Row at the time. Be honest with you, I was like, I wasn't
Yeah,
trying to be because my little cousin was there and it was a family still. It was still cool, but I wasn't seeing eye to eye with it. So, like I said, it's just best for me to stand clear.
yeah. Was it true that him and Snoop, Tupac and Snoop got like kind of got into it before Tupac death?
No, I didn't. I never seen that. But then again, I wasn't around them like that. I can't speak on none from
Right.
Death Row because when I got on, I got all the way on.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I wasn't trying to be halfway friends or nothing. Fuck Death Row, nigga. I bet. Yeah, I said it in the song. I got all the way on. Like whatever.
Yeah,
Y'all come
yeah.
to Long Beach if you want to holler.
For sure, for sure, for sure. All right, now, Ben, you came from the golden era of hip hop, man. What is it like still being relevant today?
Um, it's staying true to the adage everybody always talking about, and you don't stop, and you did. When I said it, I really meant it. Some cat be yes, don't stop. It would be mostly everything I be saying. I be meaning. I don't be saying it to play. So when I said it, don't stop. That's what the fuck I meant. I'm gonna be like Mick Jagger out here. You dig?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm a rock till I can't rock no more. I'm Smokey Robinson. I'm all the elders. I'm what? I wish I would just take what the Almighty has given me and you go sit down because some young don't like the way I come off. Nigga, please. You gonna have to learn to love it.
for sure, for sure. All right, all right. On to the next question, man. Who the hardest, man? That record was crazy, man. I listened to it over and over again. Who produced that record, and what was it like rekindling that Dog Pound music?
That was DJ Premier and I think it was a beautiful thing. I mean, you could tell by the smiles and the camaraderie from all the loved ones. You know, it was a beautiful thing. I mean, we've all grown, but we do remember the times when it was just grimy, grimy, grimy. So
Yeah,
I think the smiles and is a congratulation for getting through that kink and able to still thrive and do what the fuck you do. You dig?
yeah,
And in my case, because I was going through it for a minute, but I'm glad that getting around the loved ones kind of nudge things back into shape to kind of show you what you really doing around here.
yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, man. You killed that shit, man. You went crazy on that motherfucker.
Oh well,
That shit was
I
crazy.
I appreciate you, bro. You know, we just be working.
Man, for sure, for sure. Now, what does RBX stand for?
Reality born unknown,
Reality born what?
unknown.
Okay, okay.
Like Malcolm X, the X is unknown in the
Yeah.
supreme mathematics.
Oh yeah. Peace and love, God.
Peace.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. On to the next question. You got any shows or tours coming up?
I mean, not that I know of, but you know, if I could get a phone call from outer space, I do deal with the aliens and whatnot. So, you know, the Anunnaki, if somebody might call me and say we need a show, but right now we've been working on music. Like
Yeah, yeah. The
I
hidden roach,
believe
man. What's up with that? Let's talk about that hidden roach.
the hidden. Okay, the hidden. Now let me see. Hidden is the joint that drop. It's another one finna drop Friday.
Okay.
I don't want to make a mistake. I called the homies, but they picked up a little too late. Now we fully into the interview now. So I think it's the joint with me and MC8 dropping Friday.
Okay. Shout out
So
MC8.
yeah, shout
Yeah,
out A Hype,
he
my
used to be in
guy,
St. Louis.
Gangster
He,
Chronicles.
he used to be coming down here to St. Louis and shit back in the day.
Yes, sir, bro. You know I deal with the ones, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for
we
sure.
doing that. Eight came through and held me down. And I mean, you know, shout out to Sears, shout out to Skid. You know, they kind of like, hey, we need to pull. We did a joint and it came out kind of nice. And then we did another joint, and the homies was like, "Man, we need to do a whole bunch." So we just kept stacking and ended up being an album. You know,
Yeah,
Big Hutch came through, and like A came through, then Crazy came through, then Project Cud, then you know the whole conglomerate just showed your boy support. I didn't know I had that much love, but sometimes, you know, when you the person working, you will see it. So they came
yeah,
through. Everybody fell through. I think Chuck D put the intro on it. So I was like, that's real big, and they scrambled it all together, and we hit them with the hibernation shit. Now on the roasting, hiding just came, you know, Roach been working on it for a while, but he hit me up, me and Skid, we yada yada, then all of a sudden that dropped. So we finna start carpet bombing, bro. It's finna be boom, 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 boom. And I told fools they was sleeping on your boy, but I got alarm clocks.
for sure, for sure. Now, what's your take on Snoop Dogg running Death Row Records now?
I love it. You know, that's little puzzle. I don't have nothing bad to say. I just do your thing. You know, folks be on me about death row and this and that. The first wave, I didn't really have no problem with death row. I had a problem with a certain individual
Right,
at
right.
death row. That was the problem. So RBX ain't got no death row issues. And my little cousin running it, man, kudos. I'm gonna try to support it the best way I can anytime I can. And what?
For sure, for sure. Shout out Snoop Dogg.
What up,
On to the
Snoopy
next
Dog?
question. What's Lab Cabin Records, man? Is that your label?
No, that's actually the homies. See Advanced the Grouch and Skit. My label is premeditated.
Okay, okay, premeditated. Okay, I did
Pre,
see that.
yeah, I'm premeditated. Lad Cabin is Skit and See the Grouch. I don't know what Roach label is. I'll just say Roach Productions. You dig? And then we got the homie Sandman, All in Your Mouth Productions. So we
Yeah,
active, bro. We finna just start doing our thing down there.
for sure, for sure. Where can the fans find some merch? You got any merch sponsors, anything?
Uh, I know roast. I don't got no merch right as right now, but I'm gonna start working on something for the seven pieces and the biscuit project. That's coming down the pipeline as well. So
Okay.
I think you can go to Bandcamp, pull up RBX, and I know you could definitely go to See About the Grouch and skit name of theirs, and they gonna get you right. They gonna have the skull and the whole 999.
Okay, okay. For sure. On to the last question of the day, man. This a political question. If you can answer it. What's your take on Trump being back in office?
Um, I mean, damn, my take. Look what the country is saying, bro. All I'm saying is protesting the protest after protest. I'm just one individual, but I'm seeing a whole bunch of people. Now, here's my thing on that: the election was just over. Everybody that's out there protesting and tripping had the chance to make that shit right. If you didn't want him in office, then y'all shouldn't have went and voted for him. Now
Right.
you mad. If you was to ask me, it kind of just slash racism, like to the ultimate, because you didn't want to see the black woman in there, so you went and got the crazy white dude, and now you mad at what he done did. I don't know. I don't really know how to respond to that. You dig? Like,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah.
man. You dig?
Right, right. Nah, I feel you though.
Like,
That's,
I mean, and honestly, I don't. It's kind of like rocking a hard place, bro. Because Kamala, she wouldn't have got the respect in it from all the outside countries that she was supposed to get. She wouldn't have got that. Russia, Vladimir Putin,
yeah,
they
yeah,
would have
yeah.
been
They wouldn't.
they
Yeah,
would have
you.
been looking
Yeah.
down on. But now they got so. Oh my God, it's a damn mess.
Yeah, that shit crazy. That shit crazy, man. Uh, one more question, man. This is just a regular question. I ain't even had this wrote down. Who are some of the artists you can say today, man, that you can say keeping the West Coast alive?
Um, RBX.
For sure. Shout out RBX.
Shout out to that guy RBX. You know,
Yeah.
we got some young coming up. MCs from Long Beach. We got Gummy. He happened to be my cousin, but we got Gummy, and
Oh
we
yeah, that's
got
all
my little
right.
cousin Small Wheel. We got uh uh I think P Nice,
Okay.
DW Flame, uh uh Hood Rebel, uh uh I forgot Cuz name. I mean, he got a bunch of names,
But
but
y'all working.
Yeah, block, yeah, uh, my cousin Troy, Floss, little baby Flossie, on the R&B tip, trying to,
Okay.
Nate Dogg's son doing this thing. So,
In here, shout out in here, man. They been trying to do my nigga dirty on online and shit. I don't like this shit. How they been
who,
doing them on mine.
who?
In here, that little shit came up with him beating on the door and shit. I guess his ex girlfriend or something had somebody else in the
I
house or
seen
something.
that shit.
That
I
shit
seen
made me
that
mad
shit.
because I
When
fuck
that
with
shit,
Cuz.
I told him leave that goofy chick alone, bro. She's all that's drama, bro. She not 100. Because if she was 100 in your corner, nigga, she wouldn't have done no punk ass shit like that, man.
On
Straight
me,
up.
on me,
She
straight
wouldn't have
up,
done no
straight up.
shit like that. Nigga, I don't give a fuck how cute she thinks she is or none of that. Oh, you're
For real.
trash. Go ahead, chalk that up as an L and do it moving. You don't need that.
That's real, man. That's real. That's real OG talk, man. With that being said, this is another episode of When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop. I'm your show host, Israel Picasso. We got RBX on here, man. We tuning live from St. Louis to Long Beach, California, man. We locked in, we tapped in, man. Y'all tap in with RBX, man. How can they reach you on social media?
On social media, narrator RB at narrator RBX.
All right, for sure, for sure.
I
Y'all
think
tap
that's
in.
I think that's the Facebook jump on.
Okay, okay. With that being said, we out of here. Israel Picasso, when I fell in love with hip hop. Peace.
Peace.